the first transgender congressperson was elected during this election cycle. And now people on Capitol Hill are trying to figure out how Congress is going to react to this. Now, remember, Congress is controlled by political parties, depending on what party has the majority. And right now, the Republican Party has the majority. So it's kind of in their court to determine how they're going to move forward with this issue. Representative Nancy Mace has now proposed legislation that would make it so that transgender women, people identifying as women who have the biology of a male, would not be able to use the women's restroom, but use the male restroom. Let's see what she has to say about her piece of legislation and its impact.
Well, I filed a resolution this week that would ban biological men from women's private spaces. So that would be the bathroom, changing rooms, locker rooms up here on Capitol Hill. But I'm not going to stop there. I'm also filing a bill that we're giving you exclusive a copy to and copy with that would ban biological men from women's restrooms and women's private spaces and every federal property across the entire country. So I'm going to do everything I can to protect women and girls here on the Hill, but also all across the nation.
All right, there's her talking about her piece of legislation that she's trying to get through. Let's see what Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, had to say about this issue when he was confronted on it. You'll remember, right, the House and Senate, both controlled by Republicans. Speaker Mike Johnson's going to be able to play a key role in this kind of issue. Let's see what he has to say about it, what his thoughts are.
I just want to make a statement for all of you here and be very clear. I was asked a question this morning at the leadership gaggle, and I rejected the premise because the answer is so obvious. For anybody who doesn't know my well-established record on this issue, let me be unequivocally clear. A man is a man, and a woman is a woman, and a man cannot become a woman. That said, I also believe, that's what Scripture teaches, what I just said, but I also believe that we treat everybody with dignity. And so we can do and believe all those things at the same time. And I wanted to make that clear for everybody because there's lots of questions. But that's where I stand. I've stood there my whole life, and those are facts.
All right. The transgender representative in question, who currently goes by the name Sarah McBride, let's see what this person had to say in response to some of the discussions that have been going on. This is the representative from Delaware.
Look, this is a weird and bizarre obsession with trans people on the part of the Republican Party. Because whenever you see a politician or a political party focus in on an issue that impacts a handful of people in a handful of places, you have to ask yourself why. And the answer to that is they are trying to distract. They are trying to distract from what they are actually doing.
All right, so like I said, very interesting, mainly because it's forcing politicians and people in political office to really consider this debate that's been going on in the culture war for quite a long time and has largely been kind of pushed away from the actual politicians themselves onto the people and the influencers and podcasters that are responsible for some of these ideas going around. And so now we get to see how the politicians actually are going to react. They can't avoid this anymore. If they try to, that is indeed itself a response to it. So now we get to see which way they're going to go, and we'll continue to see this unfold as it does. And it's very interesting, and it's going to make a lot of people upset either way it goes. And so we will see, and we'll certainly be here to report on it as it continues. Let's move on.